Welcome, visitors. We are about to embark on a journey through the cell. As you can see, this is the cell. Now, a cell is the smallest unit of living matter inside of an organism. When cells work in unison, they make tissues. These tissues eventually form organs, organ systems, and in the eventual final unit, the organism. In this case, the Earth is the organism. Now, since it uses the light energy from the sun to make its own food, it is known as a photosynthetic organism, meaning that this is a plant cell. Now, since this is a plant cell, it has different characteristics that set it apart from an animal cell, which is what we humans are made of. Now, this is hard and rigid and gives the cell wall its support, meaning that this is the cell wall made of cellulose. Also, one important thing to notice about this is that it's porous, meaning things can flow freely through it. However, this does not determine that things can freely flow into and out of the cell. One last thing to mention is that this is an integral protein. It allows me to passively diffuse through the semi-permeable membrane, even though I'm too large to just regularly pass through it. So in theory, it's just letting me in. And we're in the cell.
Now as we enter the cell, this is known as a selectively permeable membrane, made of a phospholipid bilayer. It is also known as a fluid mosaic model. Cells cannot survive without this. And one thing that's neat about the phospholipid bilayer is that it's made up of phospholipids. And now since the head is charged, that makes it polar. And since the tail is not charged, that makes it non-polar, meaning the heads love the water and the tails not so much. So they tend to stay inside and face each other to make sure they don't touch water at all.
Now as we enter the cell, you would think, oh, what's there to do? It's kind of boring in here, there's not much to do. However, there is a lot to do. One of the main organelles that sends out all the information and codes for everything is known as the nucleus. And here we have the nucleus. The nucleus is small, but it is powerful as it sends out all the information and it also codes for your entire genes. It has your DNA, which is also stored in chromatin, which are these tiny little hairs right there. These hairs are your DNA. These are chromatin. Now, I know it looks small and all that right now, but that's only because it's chromatin. As soon as it enters the mitotic phase and interphase and it's being prepared to divide, that's when it'll start to coil up into chromatids and the more common chromosomes. These chromosomes will then be used as replication tools that will distribute DNA into both new somatic cells. Well, now that we've finished our time here in the nucleus, I think we should do the Golgi apparatus. I hear it's a really nice organelle to visit every now and then. Usually transports and does all these fancy stuff to other substances. Oh wait, actually, we're gonna make a cool stop at something even cooler. This is the chloroplast. Now, the chloroplast, as you can see, is green. Why is that? Because of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is green and it can absorb every other color of light except for green. Now, the green color chlorophyll is usually contained in thylakoids. Thylakoids are arranged in stacks called grana, and the chloroplast basically encloses the grana. As you can see here, these are thylakoids. And this is basically where all the light and photosystem reaction takes place. One cool thing about the chloroplast is that it's just like the mitochondria. I mean, not really. I mean, it has to use the sunlight energy to make its own food and all that, but it has its own DNA, which further proves the theory of the symbiosis, where the chloroplast and mitochondria came into a cell and basically they all lived together in harmony, each producing its own function inside the cell. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I was just resting by the central vacuole. It's one of the most largest and most prominent organelles inside of a plant cell. Did you know it has its own membrane and houses water, minerals, and waste? Yeah, since plant cells don't have their own kidneys, like we do, they use this central vacuole to store all their waste until autumn, and that's when they all get rid of it. Now, the central vacuole is a free-floating organelle in a plant cell, and it just basically just floats around in the cytoplasm. Whoa! Look over there, there's a mitochondria. Let's go observe it. So as you can tell, mitochondria are found and they're scattered throughout the cytosol, and they're relatively large organelles, second only to the nucleus and the chloroplast. They are sites of aerobic respiration in which energy from organic compounds is transferred to ATP. They're also referred to as the powerhouse of the cell. Now, they are more numerous than cells that have a high energy requirement. And they're surrounded by, did you know that they're surrounded by two membranes? Two! That's insane! This proves the theory that they were once their own living cells, and they also have their own DNA. The outer membrane, which is this part right here, protects it from its surrounding environment, also known as a cytosol. And its inner membrane has many folds and is also called the cristae, which helps increase its surface area, which also allows for more like aerobic respiration to take place to make more ATP. It's time to head over to the Golgi apparatus. It's also known as the processing, packaging, and like basically shipping part of the cell. And it consists of many flattened like sacs called cisternae. And it works very close with the smooth endoplasmic reticulum as it modifies and helps transport proteins. As you can tell, right, this is where we have our transport vesicles. Right here. Here's the first transport vesicle, and that's the second one. These transport vesicles are very unique and special and are very, very nice in helping transport proteins out of the cell, other places of the cell. Well, I guess it's my time to head out of here too. If you want to see more, just get in contact. We're always here, and we love touring you. And this has been Tour of the Cell.